What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity build a video. Today we're going to be doing the Missy's Building Guide, the most updated version. For those of you guys who are new to it, or maybe you've been following it for a couple of weeks, couple of months, whatever, you may want to listen to all of the changes that are being made and just reprint out the guide that you do currently have. Give me just a second. There's a train. Okay, it seems to stop. Let's see. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of the things that you can expect to benefit from doing the guide. Now, these are old progress reports from the video that says max everything in 90 days. So if you have seen that video, you've seen these progress reports. These are players that are either currently in my group or were in my group that had completed all of the things listed here. Most of them provided screenshots to prove it. And it just gives you guys some proof that the guide does actually work. Okay. So quick here is Lalaland. At this point, you can see this was back when season 15 was around. She had 4,000 cash, 200,000 coins, not that many coins, but she was already up to 490 storage. Now, at this point, she had only been playing 2 months. Yeah. So she's already up to 500 storage in just 2 months' time. Now, she had 2 gold epics at this time. She had already purchased 2 maxes, which is 3,000 cash. And she had land unlocked in 40 days, beach unlocked in 50 days because you have to be in Mega. And then mountain was unlocked in 50 days. All the shop slots were unlocked in 20 days. Depot slots unlocked in 25. VU tower level 9. She had 8 3-pointers for mountain. Real money spent on the mayor was only on the mayor's pass and VU pass. Mega wins first time was a big prize for 1,000, and then she's won 3 grand prizes. At this point in time, she has 1,100 platinum keys and 400 gold keys. Now, if you were to fast forward today, she's maxed out everything. She's got countless epics and things like that, countless wins. She was sitting on, I believe, 20-something thousand cash before she purchased the VU generator shop and maxed it out for 5,000. So you can see here that this is just 60 days of her stats on the Missy's Building Guide. Now, we're not going to go through everybody's because I've already done this in 2 of my videos, which are also linked in the guide that we're going to be looking at today. But just to give you guys kind of a recap here, City, this was 2 months in. He had basically the same progress that she had. Here, she had 7 months in, and she was pretty much maxed out. 43 gold epics, 4th maxes, all beach, all mount, everything was done. She had 15,000 cash at this point and 2,300 platinum keys. That was for 7 months of playtime. So go back to maybe you're somebody who has a high level city and you've got years of playing. Some of you have 5 years of playing and you've never had stats like this. And this is something that you can do in 2 to 7 months by just following my guide. Now, you have to follow it 100% in order to get the results that I'm offering you, basically. Kat, this was a 3-month progress report. Now she's at 6-month progress report. So I am going to have her progress reports. We're doing a new progress reports video in the next couple of weeks. I'm just kind of waiting for everybody to give me all of their information, screenshots, put it all together, get it done for the video. But anyways, you guys get the point on that. So we're going to go ahead and go to the guide. Now, this link is the same link that you guys had before. So if you save that link or you're going to it on our Facebook page or in the YouTube description, wherever you're linking to it, it's the same link. I just updated the document. So what we did here, and for those of you guys who are opening this up on a doc, you know, like a Word document app on your phone. If you click this here and you hit print layout, you can view it the way that it should be viewed versus when you click off of it. See how everything, well, I guess it didn't do it this time, but usually everything goes into a mobile version, which looks really weird. Okay, so we'll go ahead and brighten this up for you guys, unless it's actually easier for me to read it like this. Okay, so the Missy's Building Guide Platinum version, step by step. Now the link here is actually going to be updated. This very first link that you have is the original Missy's Building Guide video, the updated one with all the updated information, the one that apparently nobody's watching because they still have all the questions that are from the original guide. So I'm going to be updating this link here today after this video gets posted, and it will have this video's link. Okay, so if you end up getting the guide from somewhere online and you haven't seen the video, the very first video link is going to be this one. So the introduction, I left this the same. So if you are familiar with the guide, you already know what this says. But basically what this is saying is what I just told you, that you have to follow this guide 100% if you want the results of what I'm offering you. A lot of people will follow my guide, but they tweak it a little bit here and there. And when they tweak it a little bit, they screw things up. I have thought this out very thoroughly. Any possible way that you could be tweaking it, you would be making it worse. Okay, now I could sit here and explain the 970 different ways that you could make it worse, but you're just going to have to trust me, okay? Camping too long is going to make things worse. That is one of the number one things that people don't follow with this guide, is they camp too long and they make it take longer than it needs to upgrade their storage. Okay, so right here, I put in that we have updated the guide on September 29th. I put in what the general updates were, so we're going to go through that. No longer building 10 times of each airport home. So in the original Missy's Building Guide, you were directed to build at least 10 of each airport at one upgrade each. This would allow you to unlock the landmarks category and buy anything that you wanted to purchase within that category without having to upgrade and deal with anything like that, because you would have already had it done. Now we took this out because you don't unlock the landmarks category until level 30. Many of you guys are not going to be level 30 for a very, very long time. So wasting all of that experience on 30 airport homes, it's just not ideal. It's not necessary to win the contest of mayors to do those upgrades. And with the new streaks and things like that, you're going to be avoiding those. So that is something that is changed. If you follow the old guide, you already have them there. There's no sense in bulldozing them. They're already there. The experience has already been spent. So you're not doing yourself any favors by destroying the only thing that you do have to show for, right? At least now when you unlock landmarks, you can buy anything that you want. But for now, if you haven't done it, if you're somebody who's starting the guide, do not build any other homes besides regular residential. That means no other houses. Now, I say this to people and then they run off and I built a few Old Town and a few Latin here and this and that. But after they had just told me how they just restarted and were following my guide 100%. If you come to me and tell me you restarted your city and you're following my guide 100%, and I go to your map and I see a bunch of Latin Old Town, I look and I scratch my head and I go, how could you be following this 100%? What else are you not doing correctly? And why are you doing this? Because you're not doing yourself any favors, right? So make sure that you're only building regular residential homes. The Omega Canisters task, that is gone. Okay, so when you do finally go to Missy's Building Guide 3, which won't be for at least 1 year of the Missy's Building Guide, the reason for this is not that it takes 1 year to max out. It's that you want to bank in on those easy mega wins. It only takes about 90 days to about 6 months, depending on how much you play, of course, to max out your storage and your land and buy all your maxes and things like that. The extra time spent camping is for you to stack up as many mega wins as possible and as many epics as possible so that you can stretch that as far as you can go and then start to level up when you actually lose interest, you know, once you start to get bored because you've been camping so long, or when you stop winning the contest of mayors because you've burnt through all of your regular residential homes and you're, you know, still stacking up those war cards. And we'll talk about that a little bit more here in just a little bit. But ideally, you do not have to worry about this task. What this means for high-level players is that the contest of mayors doesn't cost a fraction of what it used to cost. So it actually is or can be beneficial to play the contest of mayors now if you know what you're doing for high-level players. Okay, so speed level to 24 with no storage requirements. Now, this is an extremely important update. Okay, and I want everybody who's listening to this to pay very close attention to what I'm about to say, because this is probably the number one question, or honestly, one of the number one mistakes that people are making is in the original building guide, there was a requirement for storage. Okay, now that requirement was set there because you were camping level 18 and level 20. Now you're not camping level 18 and level 20. They've made so many changes to the game. And you are actually able to find more rares at level 24 than you are at level 18 or 20. The reason being, and if you haven't seen my algorithm videos and all of my videos where I discuss this, and there's links to these videos as well, those rares, you have to have depots accessible, okay? You need to unlock enough depots in order to see enough rares. If you restrict yourself below level 24, you also don't have gold tokens or epic projects unlocked, which means that when you enter into Mega, you are entering into Mega unable to give it your all, okay? When people camp below level 18, they don't join a group because they're unable to join a group until they hit level 18. This does not allow them the necessary time required to build up all of that war, all those war points and war experience so that they can stack all those war cards so that when they get to Mega, they have all these resources available. Now, I'm going to get into that on the walkthrough part of this guide. That's going to be the most important part of what we discuss here is going to be the walkthrough, okay? Now, for those of you who don't know, there is a Missy's Building Guide walkthrough playlist. It's labeled New Missy's Building Guide Walkthrough, Part 1. Follow along with that, and I'll get you to the first 20 or so levels. Okay, Contest of Mayor Streaks. Those are all in the video links down below as well, so you're definitely going to want to refresh on those. Surprisingly enough, many players, they pick up my building guide, but they don't comprehend or realize that part of the building guide, in order for it to be successful, means that you have to compete in the contest of mayors. And in order to do that and camp, you have to use a specific technique if you want to hit the top of the leaderboard. This specific technique is very difficult to comprehend, and a lot of people have trouble with it. There's countless videos that I go through and I explain the techniques and what you need to know, what you need to do, and there's comm guides that you need to read, and there's contest of mayors math that you can learn. And it really just depends on how much effort you want to put into learning it, right? So for those people that were really, really, really serious and giving it their all and really want to do good and not going to waste my time, I would advise them to come to me for training. I would train them up, and then they would be able to at least play well enough to win, right? Now, most of the people in my group have went through comm training. Most of them win every single week. And if they're not winning every week, it's because they're either not competing that week because they got something going on, or they're usually against a hacker, right? If you suspect somebody is hacking, first off, make sure that they're actually hacking. And I have videos on that as well. Putting up 60K in one day is not hacked, okay? Putting up 60K at once, that's hacked. 60K or even 100K in a day is not hard to do, especially with the streaks, okay? I have people in my group and me as well, and there's many high-level players out there that can put up, or even low-level players that can put up 170,000 points in 2 days or even a day's time, depending on what tasks they get, how quickly they move, how much cash they spend. So it's really not that unbelievable. You want to look at that person's city stats. And if you can, and travel to their city and view things like that, then go ahead. But the one thing you don't want to do is remain in a league with somebody who is hacked. Okay, so if you suspect they're hacking, make sure you report it. That way you get your fair shot at actually winning. Okay, so all the guide links are in here, right here. All guide links. You've got the Contest of Mayor's Math Legend, which is a pretty basic legend right now. That isn't finalized, but I put it in here for you guys to use for those of you guys who are practicing with the math. The basic Neverland checklist. When you join into my group, we assign you a mentor for the first couple of weeks that you're in our group, and they go through the basic checklist of the building guide with you to make sure that you're not making any mistakes. The COM breakdown guide. This one is extremely important. You're definitely going to want to either have this readily available as you're playing the contest or have it printed. This one shows you the algorithm rates of all the assignments. It shows you your risks. It gives you the description of everything that you need to know about each task before selecting your choice. Then you have the production plan. Now, this one is also extremely important. There is a separate part, if you scroll down to page, I believe, 19 of the production plan. That is for level 18 to 24 players. Those players, they're going to be making different things than high-level players. So the original production plan tells you what to make if you're a high-level player. And then there's all kinds of charts that probably look really confusing. But I have videos that explain how to use those, and they're super easy to read once you know what you're looking at. So make sure that you check that out. Okay, Neverland group rules. If you are wanting to join into my group, that is the group rules doc. It's a basic doc. It just tells you, hey, these are the basic rules. You would think that people would be able to join in and follow the basic rules, but they don't. You only get so many warnings, then we just boot you out. Okay, COM breakdown legend. Again, that just goes with, whatever your task assessment. What does M mean? What does NT mean? No touch, cancels, last resort rotatables, those types of things. So this is the links to all the guides. Okay, so the last thing here that we updated with the guide is to make sure that you camp level 24 as long as possible so that you can keep winning Mega. Now, I added this in last night after I got a message from somebody who had told me they had restarted. They had asked if they could join my group. I went through the basic questions with them to see, what their city was like. Because we make sure that you're playing strategically. When you tell me that you restart and that you're playing the Missy Building Guide, and you tell me that your city is only 6 weeks old, and then I see that you are level 30, actually level 30 or 31, and you have 2 regionals unlocked, and this is his first week in Mega. What? You're kidding me. But he has max storage, and he only has that because he spent a ton of real money to get it. So after getting that message, I was pretty shocked that I would have to actually state this, but I am making sure I say it now for those of you who didn't catch this. You are supposed to camp level 24 until you reach all of the goals in the list. Now, this is in big bold letters in the guide. It says, do not leave this level until, and there's all these things listed. Now, I did not specifically state that you need to have X amount of mega wins before leaving level 24. I just assumed that it was common sense that you would want to remain level 24 for as long as possible to bank in some easy wins. So I'm saying it now, okay? Do not leave level 24 until you've banked in a lot of mega wins. You're not in a hurry to level up. You're really not. You want to get all these things complete, get as many wins as possible. After about a year of doing that, then you can start thinking about leveling up. And then you move up to Missy's Building Guide 3. Now, that one's pretty basic, okay? Not going to get into that today, but the links for all that stuff is at the very bottom of this guide. All right, so let's get into the walkthrough part. Now, this here is the same exact paragraph that was in the original guide. I'm just explaining to you here that this is a foundation of your city, basically. That you're building up your storage, your dozer, and all these things before you get to the crossroads, which the crossroads is level 30. Okay, so you can read through this if you haven't already. Now, here I put that if you follow this guide, these are the things that you can expect to have achieved by following this guide. You'll have a minimum of 35 regular homes. Now, this is another common question that I get, is I have more than 35 regular homes. Well, yeah. This means is that what people were doing is they were getting to level 18 or whatever. They were building homes, or maybe they had built part of their city before they found my guide, and they thought that they should bulldoze certain things. So they didn't have 35 homes by the time they got to Club Wars. In order to participate in Club Wars, you have to have a minimum of 35 homes. But another thing that people will do is they will build so many homes that they only have, maybe they have like 80 homes, but they're all half upgraded, which means you can't do epics on any of them. You have to have them at a maximum upgrade in order to complete an epic project on them. So what you need to do is, when you follow along with the Missy's Building Guide walkthrough videos, I go through and I show this. But basically, you're going to build up all your residents, but just make sure that they're maxed out, okay? That way, you don't lay down too many houses and are unable to max them out. It doesn't mean that you have to build one at a time or even 3 at a time. You could be building on 10 or even 15 at a time. When you start to get closer to, let's say, level 21, 22, then start to make sure that you wrap it up, get all of the houses at a maximum upgrade. But you're probably going to end up with, I believe, right around, probably about 60 or so regular residential homes, saying that you started the guide from scratch and you built only regular homes. It is not important to get skyscrapers, okay? I do have videos explaining how to get those, but it doesn't matter because you're going to be transforming these into epic projects and you won't see the skyscraper, anyway, right? Okay, so let's see here. All beach and mountain will be fully unlocked when you hit Mega. Now, that's another thing that people screw up on. They start unlocking things before they get to Mega, okay? Don't do that. You're going to have all Maxis Manors. You'll have about 1,500 or so platinum keys within the first, I want to say 3 to 5 months of playing, because it takes you 5 weeks to get to Mega. Okay, so we went through all this. Now here in big, bold red letters, set up your red roads. For those of you who do not know what that is, there is a link down below in the walkthrough section of this guide that we're about to get to. Make sure that you start getting these set up very early on. Do not spend one shiny penny on upgrading your roads. It is a complete waste of money. I go through and I list which parks you can use to boost your population, which transportation you can use that is the best in terms of pop boost and epic pointers, things like that. So here in the bold red letters with the big exclamation marks, the one that apparently the last guy missed, is do not unlock regionals. Even if you do go to level 25, or when you go to level 25, you do not unlock regionals yet, okay? Regionals is a very big step. It should be done after at least 1 year of playing, at least after you've built up and saved a lot of cash. Maybe once you're bored and you want to do some designing, you're just bored and you have everything accomplished, okay? Now, keep in mind that it is going to make the contest of mayors more difficult and expensive. It's also going to make your epic projects very expensive and a lot more difficult. Just keep that in mind. Okay, now at this point, usually most players have it so damn easy that the little bit of difficulty that they get from this, it's like, oh, what's that, a challenge? But when you are somebody who is suffering greatly and you don't have anything maxed out and your city is trash and you unlock this, it's just another huge weight to pull you down. Okay? So do not do that. Okay. I need to actually erase this portion here. I left this all the same. You can just ignore the Omega canisters section. Okay. So here is figuring out what your city goals are. This is super, super important, okay? Before you get too far, you want to make sure that you have an idea of what it is you want from your city. If you want a design city or if you want a high pop city, that way you can start to set it up the way that you want to and have certain priorities in line, right? For example, if you're not wanting a design city, you're not going to buy a bunch of trees in the November sale, you know? You're going to basically buy pop boosters, which is a completely different thing. Now, make sure that when you set your game up, that you put it at age 12 or higher. I usually go at 18 or higher, because if you don't, you will not be able to log in to Facebook, and you will not be able to join a group ever. SimCity does not offer a correction for this. If you do not put that your age is above a certain point, they will not change this later. And your city will basically be garbage, because there will be no way for you to save it, and there will be no way for you to go to a group. Now, this here, I talk about how the tutorial begins and all that, what you need to unlock. Now, we're going to scroll down. Don't bulldoze any homes. Okay? Now, here's the important part of the guide. All right, so pay very close attention. We're going to get into this. When you start off, you're going to start off by building only regular residential homes, okay? As soon as you get the ability to, like whether it be with funding that you can buy a couple parks or whatever, you're going to set your red roads up so that you can get that ball rolling, because it does take some time to get those set up. Now, if you only watched one Red Roads video, I suggest you watch the other one, because that one also shows you, if you're having trouble getting that third red road, it gives you some pointers on how you can get that faster. Now, the first few levels, you're just going to be building regular residential homes. You're going to be placing down, the shops and the factories and things like that. At this point, you're spending cash on shop slots only. You do not buy anything else with cash. Right now is not the time for that, okay? So, for example, don't buy any parks that cost cash. Don't buy any rares that cost cash. The cash is very, very, very important very early on. Now, very early on, you're going to get all kinds of little, gift boxes and opinion bubbles, and let's say, the city journals, you get those rewards. If you're somebody who's prone to accidental purchases, I recommend leaving those rewards uncollected until you're ready to actually use them. You're going to unlock your shop slots, preferably the building supplies store first, okay? Then you can focus on the hardware store. Now, you don't want to unlock one store all at once and then not do anything in another store. For example, when you get to the building supply store, the last maybe 4 or 5 slots are like 46 to 50 cash each. Whereas if your hardware store doesn't have anything unlocked, you're going to want to add some in there before wasting, 200 or so cash to unlock a couple slots at the end of your building supply store. Try to keep them all even, in other words. Some are obviously more important than others, like the building supply store makes nails and planks, which are going to be asked for more frequently than, let's say, hammers or whatever. There are certain things that you can make to make coin, you know, veggies, nails, hammers, chairs, those types of things are things that you can make early on to make good money. But ideally, you're not going to be a low level very long. What you're going to do is you're going to place down a house. You're going to do an upgrade. You're going to look at the requirements or items that it asks for. And if it asks you for anything too expensive, let's say it's asking you for 20 nails, you're going to re-roll that. Okay, don't pay 20 nails to do one stupid upgrade. Re-roll it, refresh it. You can watch a video ad, whatever you got to do. And then pay for, you know, do your upgrade. And you'll actually get like 1,200 coins in return for doing that upgrade. Now, keep placing down houses, keep upgrading homes. You're going to speed level. Okay, so basically what you're doing is you're going as quickly as possible. You're going to go from level 1 to level 24, right? You're going to make as much coin as possible. You're going to spend as much cash as possible on just the slots for your shops. That's it. That's all you should be spending cash on. Do not sell one rare item ever, under any circumstances. There is not one thing more important in this game that you could be spending coins on than rares. Even if your people don't have enough services, and I go through this in the walkthrough, that's just happiness, okay? Your taxes are not that important. What that means is, yes, you want to keep your happiness up, but let's say that you need to purchase a specific type of service, which I show you guys which ones you need to purchase. Garbage incinerator, the water tower is going to be the best bang for your buck. The sewage, the middle sewage department one, the 4 square one, and then the coal power, okay? You're going to purchase those. And if you don't have enough for them, what you're going to do is you're not going to purchase a small health, fire, and police. The main problem that people have is they level up, they get enough coins, then they have just enough people to where they have to upgrade everything again. Okay? Then they level up, they finally get enough coins, and then they have to upgrade everything again. You want to break that cycle. Okay? What you want to do is you want to get enough coins and get the largest services in terms of police, health, and fire as possible. Now, those ones are quite expensive, but ultimately they're going to do you a lot better than buying a bunch of little ones, okay? It may take you an hour or 2 hours to get the stuff in order, the funding in order to get them, but in that 1 or 2 hours, your happiness going down a few percent is not going to make or break you. You collect your taxes periodically throughout the day. It's not in one lump sum. And it's also that you guys are you have to take into consideration that the tax increase does not stop or does not drop just because you went down a couple of percent. You have to fall below 90% before you start to see a change in your taxes. And it's not a huge change. You know, when you fall into the 80 or 70%, it's still not that big of a change. It's like a couple percent boost. Taxes are accumulated 3 ways: city level, city pop, city happiness. If your city happiness is only down for a couple of hours and you've already collected the taxes in that few hours, then you're okay. Okay? You have time to get your stuff in order and get the stuff done. What people will do is they'll sell off their rares to make the people happy because the taxes, not realizing that they probably saved themselves 10 coins or something. Like, it's that ridiculous. Don't sell your rares under any circumstances. If the Sims move out, they move out, okay? Let them move out. Don't bulldoze your houses. Don't freak out. It's definitely fixable, okay? Follow along with the building guide. Now, you're going to try to unlock as much storage and dozer as possible during this time. So you're going to be shopping the global market quite a bit, but another technique that you can use is placing down a lot of parks or other types of pop boosters. When you do this, you get the Sims talking. The opinion bubbles will give you rares, okay? It's a really good method to use to get rares, especially early on. That coupled with, getting the global market unlocked, you need 10,000 population. You're going to have the 3 slot factories. You're going to skip buying the 4 slot ones. You're just going to go straight to buying the 5s. Now, it may take you some time to get that population built up, to get the 5 slot factories, but it's not hard to do once you purchase the transportation category first. Purchase that one first before education, because you actually have to purchase several different schools in order to buy the good schools, and you have to be of a certain level to place them down. So transportation is a good one to place down because you can buy the heliports for 20 keys. It's a 50% pop boost, and it's a 3-pointer for epic projects if you decide to do epics in that category later on. So ideally what you are doing right now is you are preparing your city as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible before you get to Mega. The reason for speed leveling is so that you can find rares quickly, having depots accessible to you. Once you hit level 11, you're going to unlock the Contest of Mayors. You're going to start by doing quick, fast, easy tasks. The biggest mistake people make early on with the Contest of Mayors is they start to play the low leagues as if they're in Mega. Do not do that, okay? First off, it's not worth spending more than what you're gaining in rewards. I can't tell you how many people will waste cash on flights in Neighborhood League to win a couple tens of thousands of coins. Are you kidding me? You can make 87,000 coins a day at a minimum on our production plan that we have written. And you're giving away countless important resources just to win Neighborhood League, when you really probably would have won regardless, just doing quick, easy points. You're going to do tasks like the VU Tower. That's something you're going to want to unlock first. Okay, so right now you have 5 weeks until you get to Mega. By the time you reach Mega, you want to have hit level 24, unlocked the VU Tower first so that you can utilize the VU Tower so that you can bank in on some keys. You're going to want to launch that as much as possible. When you hit level 11, you're going to start doing Contest of Mayors assignments immediately. Start with coin tasks, production assignments, easy stuff, okay? Launching VU repair, keys, those types of tasks. Anything other than that, you ignore or don't do. If you see regular residential upgrade tasks, you can do those in the lower leagues as long as you do not exceed level 24, okay? Once you hit level 18, the very first thing you want to do is join a group. Preferably a group that is actually decent, okay? Go on Facebook, go on Reddit, go wherever you got to go. Type up a post, say, hey, I'm looking for a good active group that does war 2 times a week for the purpose of the contest at least, that they don't have a minimum war requirement. What you need to do during this time, and this is what people do when they come to our group, is you speed level to level 18. You get to level 18, you join a group immediately. You immediately begin earning war points, as many as possible. Now, you're going to want to unlock at least 1 purple card, or preferably not in Kansas if you can, but usually people end up with Disco Twister first, or Magnetism, or VU Robot, something like that. This will allow you to launch at least 3 times with 1 energy bar if you unlock not in Kansas. It's a purple card, so if you get that task in Mega, you'll be okay. But right now you have 5 weeks to prepare yourself. Now, when you get to Mega, you want to have as many regular residential upgrades upgraded as possible so that if you get an epic task that needs done, you can actually do it. You're going to try to squeeze as many epic tasks as you possibly can into one epic assignment, leaving yourself enough time to actually finish the assignment. You're going to make sure that you pick the type of epic that you like the look of the best, and you're going to make sure that you watch my epic videos. Because if you don't, then you'll end up in a situation where you are unable to even hit silver without going completely broke and having it take 20 hours. Make sure you watch my epic videos, okay? Now, ideally in my epic videos, I talk about speed epics, doing them as quickly as possible. In your case, you're not going to do that. If you get an assignment for 60 epic points, you do it and you stop. These are very valuable houses, okay? Once you do these epics, that's it. You don't get more houses once they're gone. You have to level up once that happens, and you may not be ready to level up. So if you waste all of your epics, then you end up in a situation where you're competing in Mega, you get a 2,000 or 2,400 epic task, and you can't do it because you wasted all your epics, speed going through all your epics, right? So they're a very valuable resource. You want to build as many as possible and use them as carefully as possible. Make sure that you make them all gold. Never make them silver, okay? You can make them silver after level 43. When you get to the group that you're going to be in, you're going to be banking in on at least, I would hope, you're doing war at least 2 times a week. So whether you win or lose, you get some kind of prize, as long as you launched at least 1 time during war. You should be launching a lot more than that, because what you want to do is you want to launch as much as possible. You're going to take any war simoleons you obtain, and you're going to buy jackpots. Probably level 1 jackpots, because you're not going to be doing a lot of shield busting at this time. It's a waste of your coins. So buy a bunch of level 1 jackpots. Make sure that you're banking in on your war rewards. Save all your other boosters for when you get to Mega. And stack up as many war cards as you possibly can. Because when you get to Mega, you're going to get these tasks that are worth 3,000 points that say upgrade war card. Now at first, you'll have the cards. There'll be maybe 4 coins, or keys, and all is well. Okay? It's easy. It's an easy 3K points. It's an excellent way to get a few easy wins in Mega until you get the hang of how quickly you need to go and what assignments you should be choosing. The first couple weeks in Mega, you're going to have a lot of easy points in terms of war card upgrades, beach unlocks, and mountain unlocks. That being said, you're only unlocking beach and mountain in Mega, which means the first couple weeks of Mega are going to be very expensive in terms of coin. So you want to make sure that you use this 5 weeks to earn as much coin as possible. This cannot be done unless you are at least level 24, so you can speed up your production, so you can make a bunch of donuts and flour and things like that, okay? What happens is people remain low level, and I had a girl do this one time. She tweaked my guide, and she ended up in a really bad spot. So she came to me for help. And I couldn't understand how she ended up in the situation she did had she followed my guide 100%. So after speaking with her, I realized that she was in her situation because she didn't listen to me. She decided that she was going to camp a low level. And when she did that, she was unable to earn war points. She was unable to do epics. And she was unlocking her beach and mountain at a low level, which was putting her in the poorhouse because she couldn't make anything to keep up with it. Now, what ended up happening is because she was inexperienced, because she didn't unlock as much storage as she would have had she leveled up, she ended up with low storage. She ended up completely broke. She didn't set up her 3 red roads like she was told. And she ended up in a situation where she had unlocked all of her beach and mountain in the previous weeks of Mega, which she didn't win because she didn't know what she was doing. So she unlocks all this beach, she unlocks all this mountain, and then after she completely puts herself in the poorhouse and pisses away a really good opportunity, then she decides she's going to go to level 24. Okay? Now, at this point, she's already lost 2 really good things that she could have used to boost up her score the first couple weeks in Mega. That being said, she wasn't able to earn any war points. So, when she got to Mega, she was getting those war card upgrades. Once she hit level 18, she didn't have any cards. So she got the task, and it kept coming in for 3,000. It would have been an excellent way to get an easy win. And she ended up screwed. Now, at this point, she's in a bad spot, okay? If she doesn't compete, she gets demoted. It could take several weeks to get back into Mega, you know, depending on what the leaderboards are. Ideally, she should have speed leveled, stacked up as many resources, got as much land unlocked as possible before getting to Mega, because you want to get those dozers taken care of as fast as you can, okay, because that assignment's almost always in your list. There's a new way of having to play the contest mayors at low level. Because you're camping, you can't do, upgrades. And if those upgrades pop up in the streak, you're going to fail the streak, which is the majority of your assignments. So ideally, what you want to do is stack up 7 upgrades in your list before you begin streaks at around 20 tasks remaining. Now, let's say that you start off, you get to level 24, you're going to stop. You're not going to use up that 24 experience bar just frivolously, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to only do regular residential upgrades at level 24 if you have a regular residential assignment in the streak. And you're going to get this one done as quickly as possible. Finish that streak so that you can hopefully get it back in the main list, okay? Now, like I said, only regular residentials. If you start off a streak with a Latin home, you need to cancel it, okay? That means you're going to fail that streak, but you're going to allow yourself enough time to get it in the main list so that you can benefit from the other 5 streaks that you have available. You have 6 total streaks available in Mega, and you get 4 tasks per streak. Now, definitely check out the streaks videos. They are down here. You can see there are links to a bunch of this stuff. You know, how to max everything in 90 days. This is where I'm talking about epics and war card unlocks. Leveling experience, you're going to, like I said, you're going to stop at level 24. You have a full bar of the level 24 experience you're going to utilize the way I just explained, but do not hit level 25, okay? Once you're in level 24 in a Mega, you want to apply all techniques so you can actually win. Oftentimes what people will do is they'll give it their all for maybe half of the contest, and they get discouraged because the person above them has so many points or more than them, not realizing that they still have the streaks available, and that person probably did streaks too early, which in turn will lower their score overall. So make sure that you're giving it your all and that you're doing the best that you can. I highly recommend that you watch, at a minimum, all of these videos here about the contest of mayors for low-level players. Make sure that you're watching the low-level videos. Anything that does not say high-level is a low-level comm video, okay? Now, we just talked about that. Save all platinum and gold keys. Aside from unlocking war cards and buying epic pointers of at least 3 points or higher, okay? But pick a category you like the look of. I've had many people pick a category they don't like the look of simply out of convenience. Don't do that. Make sure you pick the one you like the look of. And we do have close-up photos of all the epics on our Facebook page. Okay. Right here, I did leave this here, the level 10 to 18. No, I think I typed this up. No, I didn't. I left this here. I'm going to have to take this out, actually, because some of this is old stuff here. Let's see. we just went through most of that. So we're just going to take all that out because this is partially a storage requirement. And I don't want to mislead anybody. Oftentimes people get really misled. I don't understand it. You know, they'll see something and they'll take it and run with it, but then they don't see the 900 other things that said the exact opposite, that said new, updated, you know, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And they're like, but right here it says do this. Oh my God, it's just crazy. Okay. That one's not too bad. So here I left this here. You want to have a minimum of 75% land expansions completed. You will get land expansions during the contest of mayors. Make sure you do as many land expansion tasks as you can before you hit mega. Tasks, they're, you know, worth 2,000 points, so it's a really good way to boost your score up in the lower leagues. But once you get to mega, you don't want to have any if possible. So we're going to take that out. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you want to make sure you're focusing on getting promoted into mega. Airport. Okay, so the order in which you want to unlock your airport is kind of interesting. So what you want to do is you want to unlock the VU tower as quickly as you can. Okay. Before whatever level you can do that, whatever pop requirements you can reach to do that, do it. You don't necessarily have to upgrade the VU tower to level 8. You just need to get it unlocked so you can start earning some keys. But here's the thing. Before you hit mega, you want to make certain that you have all 3 airport tiers unlocked. Okay, which means you're going to have a decent amount of population to get to Tokyo. And the cargo dock. Now, you can unlock the cargo dock or the airport in whatever order you really want to. Just make sure that you get them unlocked before you hit mega. If, for whatever reason, you can't, which you should be able to, I don't see any reason why you can't, but if you couldn't, then unlock the airport before cargo, because you're going to get way more airport tasks than you are cargo. Now, don't assume that you can just leave this locked and not get these tasks. First off, they are a lot of your very good premium tasks. They do cost cash to bring the flights back in, so you will need a minimum of 200 cash on hand before you even compete in mega. But more importantly, you want to make certain that you have all 3 tiers unlocked, because you will get those assignments whether you have the airport unlocked or not. Now, comm prep is crucial to being successful in the contest of mayors. If you don't prep your shops right and you don't prep your inventory, you will fail miserably, or you will have a very difficult time. Now, I always tell people to make sure that they finish all their assignments before Second War is over, because if they get to their streaks or whatever assignment and they can't do it, they fail the streak, which is a lot of points. Meaning, if war is over and you get a war assignment that, let's say, doesn't work on the monster, or the monster stays away, then you're in a situation where you can't do it and you fail. Same thing with epics. You got to make sure you pay very close attention to the epic timers. Same thing with factory productions. Because you're low level, you got to be very careful about which factory productions you rotate and when. All of this is in the comm videos, and you're definitely going to want to watch these comm prep videos, okay? Now, at level 18, you're going to make donuts 24/7. You're going to benefit from the mayor's chest, whichever one your club reaches. For example, our club does 2 wars a week and a legendary chest. So hypothetically speaking, saying that we win A6 war 2 times a week, that's 120 cash, plus war simoleons and platinum keys, And everybody gets 15 rares from the legendary chest and 120 cash plus gold tickets. So that's just every single week. Okay? Now imagine 5 weeks of banking in on war rewards and legendary chests before you ever even get to Mega. That's a lot of cash and a lot of rares that you're missing out on by camping lower levels. Make sure that you get your ass to level 18 and get into a group as quickly as possible. We do have openings in our group and we do take players, but you have to follow the guide 100%. Okay? We don't take people who play like jackasses. Now, when you unlock the airport and the cargo, ideally you really don't want to just do airport shipping things unless for whatever reason the items in which they're requesting don't exceed the coin amount for selling the airport item in return. If they're exceeding it, then it's just a waste of your time, okay? Now, you don't need to hold on to airport items at all. You're not going to use them for anything. You're not upgrading airport homes and you don't have regional shipments yet. So you can just sell those for maximum. Make sure you're always selling everything for max dollar. Never, ever, ever give rares away to anybody in your group just to give them away. Always make sure that you're trading them, okay? 1 for 1. If you're in a group and you're giving your rares away to other people, you're going to regret it, okay? They're not going to do the same for you, and you really do need to worry about yourself. Now, yes, you still want to play as a team player, but part of being a team is making sure that everybody in the team is not being taken advantage of. If you come to our group and people are maxed out, they are more than willing to help people, but they still may expect a trade for something that they may need. For example, if they're maxed out on storage and dozer and they're low on VU, they're going to want a trade so that they can get what they need to get done. Otherwise, they'll just sell them to you. But we don't want people coming in and just mooching off us. That's not how this works. You got to pull your weight, okay? So do not pre-pack the boxes when you get to your flights. If you get an assignment for, let's say, 3 Tokyo, and you pre-pack the boxes, you're going to be in a situation where if you can't find that item and you have to recall in a new flight, you won't be able to. Once you pack the boxes, that's it. There's no requesting anything. You have to wait out the full timer. So don't do that until you have all items requested. Okay? Boost population. You're going to need to boost your population as much as you can to unlock the 5-slot factories, the airports, the VU tower, the HQ, the cargo, all that stuff. So get that done. Transportation category. We already discussed which ones you're going to purchase. I talk about, what happens if you're unable to join a group. If you have money, upgrade your VU tower to a minimum of VU level 8, but do not put yourself in the poorhouse. Keep in mind that if you can, there's certain things that you want to purchase for coin and certain things you want to produce for coin. Definitely check out the storage management video, okay? But make sure that you only upgrade your VU tower if you actually have the coins to do so. It is not super important. It definitely will help you in the contest because you will end up getting more, you'll end up having to launch less times, okay? But definitely make sure that you are keeping all of your stuff in order, okay? Your epics, your population, your production plan. The first 5 weeks, you're in the contest, the lower levels. Do not use any gold tickets in the lower levels ever, okay? As long as you're getting promoted, that's what's important. There was a guy that had posted to our Facebook page. He was in one of the lower leagues where the first 5 people get the top prize, but he wasn't in first place by a couple thousand points, which would mean he would have to spend his tickets. Are you kidding me? You're going to waste your gold tickets, which could mean winning 2,000 cash in Mega, to not even win anything more? Just to say you won first place in the lower league? That's crazy, okay? Save your gold tickets. You're still getting the first place prize. There's no reason, or as long as you're getting promoted, who cares? Okay? Just get promoted. That's what matters. Those gold tickets are extremely valuable in Mega, and they're not easy to obtain, especially once you get to Mega, and most people in Mega use 15 every single week. Okay? So if you start off with 30, that's only 2 weeks. Think about that. Definitely want to hold on to those. Okay? Now, that pretty much is it. This is the checklist for the level 24 checklist before you leave level 24. You're going to want to have accomplished everything on this list as we discussed. You can go through this on your own. And then once you get to that point, you'll end up here at the bottom of the guide. I'm going to go ahead and take this out, the part about the Omega canisters here. So you're just going to proceed to the Missy's Building Guide Part 3. Okay? It's pretty basic, honestly. Crossroads is at level 29 to 30. 30 you unlock Omega. And 31 you unlock burgers. Big, big, big steps, okay? Don't take those lightly. Alright, you guys, good luck. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comment section below. You can join us on Facebook at SimCity Build at MissyAnneYT. And like I said, there's video links in throughout this entire guide. You know, all these little blue links are video links here. All the doc links are there, and I will update this periodically as needed. So if you didn't print it, or you know you have the link or whatever, check back. I do put video updates and posts anytime we make any changes to anything, so make sure that you're paying attention to our Facebook page and the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any updates. And I will I'll see you guys next time.